Hello guys! Today I will take the time to talk in detail about my parents' nagging. I think my parents nag more than other parents. When we are together, they always nag me and my ears hurt. It feels like I've heard the same story 100,000 times with some lies added, rather than always telling a different story. To name a few representative ones. 1. Observe, think, judge, act, and take responsibility for it. 2. Nothing is mine until I hold it in my hand. And 3. You can't have when you can't handle. And 4. Always do your best. Yeah, it's boring. These are the representative ones. And when I listen to my parents nagging, I'm not sure whether I'm being nagged or listening to a lecture on philosophy. Anyway, today I will take the time to interpret the nagging issues mentioned above from my own standards. Please bear with me, even if it's boring. First, observe, think, act, and take responsibility for it. Yeah, this is one of the nagging things I've heard the most since I was young. And I think observe means not just observe. I think looking very attentively and thinking about why something is that way. And think there is a connection to the previous word. I think the fundamental thing is the process of guessing and considering various possibilities to come up with that is reasonable. And next, judge. Judge is an important part of deciding whether or not to readily implement something now. It's very important. And action. I think action is simple and hardest word to say. Actually, I don't have a good sense of action, so things like that often come to me with difficulty. But if you don't move, nothing will start. So I think it's something I need to overcome. And lastly, responsibility. I think I don't know much about this part because I have never been responsible for anything yet. So I don't really feel it, but I vaguely understand the meaning. If you do something, you need to take responsibility for it. Whether it is good or bad will depend on the outcome. And if this responsibility didn't exist, no one would work hard. Because no matter what process you go through, and there will be no reason to do it if there are no results. Yeah, I think it is difficult. And my parents say to me, if you just follow these 5 things exactly, there won't be any problem. And I agree. It is good advice. But I think I've heard it too much. I've heard it so much that I've almost memorized. And still, I plan to keep these in my mind as much as possible, but it is hard. And second is, nothing is mine until I hold it in my hand. Yeah, so if I think about it more carefully, I can understand why my parents told me this. To put it simple, I think it can be interpreted as saying that anything that has not been proven with skills not yet mine. For example, let's say you are learning how to fix laptop. Laptop. No matter how good you are at fixing laptop, people want to readily believe you if you don't have a certificate. It's hard to say anything about my skill if I don't have a sample to prove it. When I think about these things, my parents seem to be telling me not to be confused and make no mistakes about what I can do and what I can't do. And also, even if you don't necessarily look at it from a skill perspective, you can also hear that things or opportunities don't completely become yours until you secure or own them. I think these words have a very deep meanings. Third, you can't have what you can't handle. I think my parents say this to me more as a warning than as advice. In the past, there was a time when I stayed overnight using my smartphone or didn't listen to my parents because I used it. But if you think about that, saying again now, there is definitely something that resonates. You can't have what you can't handle. If you think about it more difficultly, it may sound like there is no point in having it if you can't handle. To use an analogy, let's say I bought a car. There is a difference in maintaining your car. Usually, if something breaks or you need periodic maintenance, you have to go to a repair center or service center. If you take the car and it doesn't end in one day, you have to wait and pick it up the next day. There are many other situations, but the important point is that I can't use my car while the process is taking place. If that's the case, you want to know whether you are spending time for the car or for yourself. But if I can repair the car, it's a different story. As long as I have enough money, I'm willing to buy any number of cars because I can handle it. You can't have what you can't handle was interpreted to mean this to me. I don't know if this is what my parents intended. Shall we move on? The following nagging points are simple and straightforward. Things like do your best while you still have a chance. Always observe and act seriously. It seems like a more popular nag than the ones mentioned above. I hear these nagging almost every day, and other children are probably in a similar situations. And to add other things, once my parents start talking, repeat the same things for 1 or 2, 3 hours. I know. I have to listen carefully to each and every sentence, even if my parents talked 1 hour, 2 hours over. But there is no end to the nagging, so it can be a really exhausting. And also I guess my parents nagging me because I don't have this skill yet. Still, I will fix it, and I'm aware that there are assignments that I need corrected in the future. It's hard, but I'll do my best. Until now, I talked about my parents nagging. It must have been very boring, but thanks for watching my video so far. Yeah, so I'll be back with more interesting video next time. Thanks for watching.